This is Conversations with the Citizen. I am your host, Tia Carol Jones. I'm here today with Tajudeena Jones, aka Taj, founder and executive director of Totally Positive Productions. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am I'm the founder and executive director of Totally Positive Productions, and I'm a college graduate, the second oldest of six children that my mom had. Grew up on that, and I am a former government employee between 2 years with the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm also a veteran myself. I'm a Persian Gulf War veteran on that, and a community service on that. So that's basically it.
What led you to create Totally Positive Productions?
God.
Okay.
I always say that God. I remember when we founded in August of 1993. I had woke up out of a dream or vision I had, and I remember my mom was there. I said, "Mom, God revealed to me to start a non-profit organization," and the name was spelled out, Totally Positive Productions, and how to start the program, and then the rest was history. So I always attribute everything to God, and then with the help of the Holy Spirit and Jesus along the way. It's been quite a journey.
How do the programs you facilitate fit into the organization's mission?
That's a good question. Well, our mission is to produce positive rap, singing, dance, theater, and spoken word talent competitions, as well as produce positive off-the-street activities for youth ages 1 and up and adults as a deterrent to drug and gang involvement. And the way the programs that I facilitate ties in the part of the positive off-the-street activities, because it's creative in nature, which helps supports our main mission, because it's important to change the behaviors or get the youth as well as the adults in the mindset of something that's enjoyable before we actually go in and start the educational aspect of it. So that's the way it ties in to our main mission.
Each Wednesday, the Totally Positive Productions variety show airs.
Yes.
Where did you get the idea for it, and what can people expect when they watch it?
That's another good question. On that was brought to me first by a former board of directors, Ms. Patricia McClure, and she became part of a network, the OCP Inspirational Network, and she I was a guest on her show, and she brought the concept up, and she's been following us as a non-for-profit, saying, Todd, you guys are ready. It's time to go to the next level of taking it from, just local and then putting it out there for more people to see. So when she brought it to my attention, I thought it was a good idea. I always pray about it, and then I'd always get led by the Holy Spirit. So I got confirmation from the Holy Spirit. Then it said, well, let's call it the Totally Positive Production TPP variety show. So the variety show would be like guest artists that we've worked with, as well as like board members and pretty much community members of the community to add a twist to it. So with the program, not only like if you're an artist, you sit with the interview with me, but if you have spoken word artists, you get to perform. So if it's one piece, you do one piece. If it's two pieces, you do two. For singer pieces that I've seen and I definitely know it's appropriate, would look good, after the interview, you get to perform it. So it was a nice twist to it, a nice balance. So when we started out, I think within the first 2 weeks, the owner reached out because the viewership, the demand was there. So we was blessed to go from a half-hour show to an hour show that the network actually did. So right now, you can see it on OCP Inspirational Network, probably on video on demand, because we're in right now transition, because we starting next year, we're going to go to another network on that. But it's a variety show that just adds a twist to it. It keeps it real, and it's different. And then we also have one of the aspects of the show that was real popular called Mom's Corner. So it's actually my mom. So it was like a 9 to 10 minute, almost like a sermon, but it was like mom's point of view on different issues on that. So that was really engaging. So not only do we tap on the kids, but we have some for like the older people as well. And they kind of loved and fell in love with the mom's corner because it was a different aspect. Because my mom, she normally keeps it real and down to earth on it. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Totally Positive Productions has been in existence for 28 years. What motivates you to keep the organization going?
The motivation, I'm definitely sending back to God. And the fact that we've impacted lives, a lot of youth lives, a lot of parents' lives, and guardians, and just knowing that we made a positive change. If you notice the name, Totally Positive Productions. And I look back, I normally look at it as it's almost like my spiritual bodyguard. Because especially now the way society is, if you observe life, you don't really find too many, and this is what I observe, too many people that's happy. And the scriptures say, happy is he who trusts in the Lord, and I'm happy. And I can say that, regardless of the trials and tribulations, I'm happy. And when I bring out the Totally Positive Production concept, it's being that positive force, especially being a young, a black male, being able to see, be that light to a youth or to a family because most of the ages that we are under the medium of $10,000 a year annually or less, because we serve disadvantaged youth and families in who we serve. But to see us being able to provide, like for our cultural enrichment trip is free. We provide tickets, transportation, food. That's important of that. Then we also provide a gift bag or a care bag. Okay. So whatever events or service learning projects, we always include those because those are things that I found out throughout the years, especially when it comes to youth and they do after school programs. That's maybe the only meal outside of school that they get. Okay. So when we come servicing them, we hear the growling, or it even got tricky because sometimes when we do programming and then there's a certain part that we'll feed, someone would miss that, then try to come to just when they know it's time to eat. Okay. And I'm like, no. You have to make sure that you get some training because the key is the mind. And that's why I thank God with Totally Positive Productions was we always affected change of behavior, change of the mind. That's where it seemed like society then is trying to, mess up the mind so you can live a productive life. So the creative measures is, okay, try to create something, but be that light. Because if you're enjoyable or you like something, now we can go in and start saying, okay, you don't do that here. There's a certain way you got to speak. You're not on the street. You're here in a positive, safe environment. There's a certain way you have to act. There's a certain way you have to conduct yourself. So that's the difference here. And that's the difference that I found out over the years is we have to be creative because things are now sensitive. People, if people don't understand what we're saying, they automatically gonna have a bad connotation or a bad notion of saying, oh, you mean, no, it's just, this is the way we do it. This is the way it's conducted. And the key is it has to be a difference. Something positive. There's no cursing. There's no sexual explicit language. There's things that I don't tolerate. Okay. It's either you're gonna be with us or not. Okay. So that has to be instilled and enforced, and it's important. And I thank God that we have like all the people that come around we're enforcing it. Like if we go to Navy Pier, and it's amazing too to see it because if a kid that's running, no, don't run, come here. And I'm saying, come here. And then other coaches looking like, wow, no. Because we're here to train in every little aspect of behavior, lifestyle changes. If we could get that, we're making a change in life, and that's what makes me feel good. And I know when we conduct something and something was good and successful, I sleep good. And I just have that feeling like, yes, God is pleased. And that's what, and even when very few times that I got tired, even when it was like a slow period, something would come up. I get a phone call or get an email or something like this. Hey, we need this or something that keeps it going. So in life, it's like a rhythm to me, and it just more energy and just more excitement as the years go by, because certain things that when I first started, I wasn't privy to, but now God has allowed it to go to another level. I don't have to be thirsty and search. People are searching me now. They're asking for it. So it's a difference now, and I thank God for that.
Why do you think it's important for young people to express themselves creatively?
That's another good question. And the key I'm glad that you mentioned that the creative aspect, because there's two sides, right? Streets or legal. So the key is it's legal. If you're going to be legal, you're going to be successful and have a job and live a long life. So the creative aspect is. The key is, especially with time, and I always like with Totally Positive Productions in the form, was keeping the youth and adults in a way where they can communicate and listen, because that's important. Sometimes kids have a lot of things that they're going through. They can't share it with their parents or guardians because of why? The parents have to work. They got a job. They got something. So they don't have that time to spend to find out what's really going on until it's too late. So at least what they get with Totally Positive Productions, we create that atmosphere where they can freely talk. I don't have a problem listening. My mom or the staff of Totally Positive don't have a problem listening to what concerns someone may have. And then even if I can see that they're struggling with saying something, I make it open. Okay, it's fine. You can say it. Open up. Let's talk it out. Or if they're among peers, the same thing. Because the key is the scriptures say all have sinned, right? And come short of the glory. It says all. So no one's really better than anyone else. So the key is creating that atmosphere where they can freely express themselves and enjoy it in something that's positive. What key is not like being direct. School system could get away with it, but when you're talking about outside of school, there's a different way we can channel it. But the key is we can say things as positive. I can be directive, but the key is still the household, because that's where the change is. If anyone comes and be a part of the Totally Positive Production, they will change. But the key is how long can they have the support? Because we have kids, and one thing I measure success, they come back. But what I've noticed is when they really engage it, they tell other ones, other youth, and other people, that word of mouth. But then what comes in is they'll stay for a little bit, then leave. Then the streets get them. Then when they get tired, they come back to Totally Positive Production. As opposed to now, I've reached a different level is the guardian, the parents. I need you to be supportive at home because it will work. They come, they change, but if they go back home to an environment where they still don't have no control, that's a constant battle. So the key is trying to reiterate the youth as well as the guardian working together and being a part of Totally Positive Productions, and we can help change and longevity. We have a lot of success records of, graduating, people, youth going, living productive lives. So that's good. I think that's really good and it makes me feel good. But the key is to reach more. But the key is it's getting kind of tricky now because society seems like it's changing and there's a lot of evilness going on.
How did you come up with the positive rap, the P rap, and what are some of the ways you believe this genre can heal the community?
That's another good question. I had to, and I'm gonna tell a personal story with that one. When we first started, it was with Totally Positive Production. I always wanted to use the most popular form of the time, which was rap, hip hop. But the key was to have the twist to it. The twist was positive rap, P rap. That's rap with no cursing or sexual explicit language. So the key is during the time when we formed and we did 9 talent shows in a row. And some of the talent, I tell you, Mr. Hill, was the media, I guess, and I thank you for having me here, the broadcast, because if we would have had like the media attention, like the negative rap, the gangster rap here, you would have had seen how rap could have been really nice and enjoyable, because some of the showcases that we had, one time we did a rap showcase where the theme was education. So all the raps that you heard was about education. No cursing, no sexually explicit language, and it was a form of rap music that was clean and it could be enjoyable by all ages. And the key is by us being a non-for-profit organization, you know, we get support from the general public. It's just we didn't get the support and demand with that. But the key was it was a gentleman, his name was Miggity Mike, I'll never forget. He would come to each audition, because we would audition, and then our auditions was different because I always liked, and that guy gave me the spirit to help. If you normally go to an audition, you got to be polished. Any errors, you are gone. Me, I always took the time, even now to this day. We spend time at auditions. Sometimes we may spend a half hour, 45 minutes with one act, just cleaning them, telling them, hey, this is what you don't do. We understand, we're going to help you. But it was one gentleman, he would come for 4 months, and he wasn't technically really that good, but he kept coming, auditioning, working with him, and then I said, well, after the 4th month, I let him get on the main stage. So I let him experience the stage. He didn't place, but what had happened was after the event was over with, I got someone tap me on my shoulder, and then he said, are you Mr. Jones? I said, yes, I'm Mr. Jones. And he said, I would like to thank you. It was the dad, and he had his brother that was next to him. He said, I would like to thank you, and also his brother would like to thank you. And I said, thank you for what? He said, you have changed, his name was Mickey Mike, life. He said, before that he came to you all, he would curse using B, H's, and in his writing for music. He said he threw it all in the garbage. And from that point forward, he had did nothing but positive rap. And at that early stage, I said, I knew that was a connection from God. That's what's needed. And even to this day, because when someone auditions, now the wave has moved to like spoken word. It's more of the hidden factor now. If they say a bad word, we don't do that. You got to change it. So it's never ever been somewhere someone made it to the stage and did it, because at the auditions, I would catch it. We would say, no, we don't do that here. Then we do the final, tech rehearsal before. So I would have to see exactly what you're going to perform for the event. So it's never been that. So when we say something, we've been true to what it is. The key is like I said before, is God allowing us to get more funding to do more, and you will see that wave. Because it's been hidden, but that was another big concept, because I always thought, okay, in the good world, at that time, I think it was a $2 billion industry. And I figured, well, that's for the negative rap. Now, just imagine if we had the positive rap that was promoted. We're talking about $6 billion or more, because we're talking about rap being in a different form where that's enjoyable for all ages. But you got to remember, some of the older people are buying the music for their children, grandchildren. So it's a little bit more behind it. But that's a concept that I know God is going to allow to bring it more so to hopefully be more mainstream as we get more attention and get more funding to do that. So positive rap, P-rap.
Where can people go to find out more about Totally Positive Production?
We on all social media platforms. The main one, we do have a website, www.totallypositiveproductions.com. Then also, if they want an individual want to support us, we have a www.totallypositiveproductions.store, where we have apparel and merchandise. We're on Facebook, www.facebook.com/totallypositive. And then we're on Twitter, Instagram, hashtag, I think it's Totally Positive. And if someone wanted to Google us, they could just simply type in Totally Positive Productions, and a lot of information should come up. So I think we're number one on most of the spots, especially when it comes to nonprofit organizations. So I'm happy to state that. And as well as they can email us at tpp@totallypositiveproductions.com, or they could give us a call at 1-773-488-9553.
Okay. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like our audience to know?
Yes. Once again, I just want to thank you, the Citizen newspaper, for having me here, just to bring out the voice and get our concept out a little bit. And just the key is keep God first. And I think that's really important. And try to be happy. And then if you hear more about Totally Positive Productions, because we do have an event coming up, the Spoken Word Concert 2, where the theme is God, on that. And really try to support. If you hear the name Totally Positive Productions and read about us or see it, because we're going to do a lot more marketing. If you can find it in your heart to support us, you know, be that light to the world, especially to the young people that's in the Chicagoland or not, because the key is there's not a positive force, or because just a smile or just to say good morning or good afternoon, that means a lot to somebody, you know, on that, because I may see a smile and then imagine someone that may be on a different platform. In 1 or 2 days, you may run into somebody that smiled or was happy. Some people go a whole week or a month without going into somebody that's kind of happy or got a good spirit. So the key is just trying to create an environment. If you can find it, to reach out to us and want to really support, I think that's a key. And the thing is just, it's just different because we've done a lot. When I say I'm going to do something, we do it. We're positive, we can be consistent, but the key is coming up with individuals. They say things and smile, and you know, when the camera or the things go away, they don't really want to help. And the key is it's time out for that, because we're losing because of that. Some kids, they put trust in adults or something like that. They say one thing, then they do it different. They don't mean what they say. If that can be worked on and be that positive force and light, a change can come. And it's going to be like a wave of it on that. So I think that's what I would want to share.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Remember to make plans to join us again next week for Conversations with the Citizen, the place where real news can be heard.